So we got Jen on today. And Jen, let's dive deep a little bit into how you got into real estate, why you got into real estate, and then we'll talk about, being a mom and everything else.
Sure. So, of course, I was like everyone else. I loved watching HGTV. I was always kind of interested in real estate. Never thought that I would actually be in it in any capacity, but I enjoyed it. Look forward to certain HGTV shows. At the time, I was in the medical field. So I was working at a surgery center. I worked in the OR, and I just got very upset with the way that things were going as far as procedures went, not the actual surgeries, but the rules of the surgery center and the laws that were changing regarding healthcare. So I decided that I wanted to step away from that industry. It just didn't align with my morals and with my values. And I always wanted to treat patients across the board like I would treat my own mother or my father or my son. And it wasn't happening that way, in part due to a little bit of finances. And the other part was there was just a lot of confusion in the healthcare industry at that point in time with the Obamacare insurance reimbursements rolling out and everything like that. So I decided to leave healthcare. And I'm sitting home and I said to Greg, kind of want to do real estate, little interested. He is like, babe, do whatever you want, whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you smile, like go for it. Who cares? What have you got to lose? I said, okay, sure, why not? Went to real estate school, started realizing it was a heck of about more than selling a beautiful house or, this glamorous lifestyle. It was more about doing the right thing by people and helping them through certain situations, and that not every single sale was, a happy ending. There was a lot of them that you are truly putting yourself in a position where you can be someone's savior. You can be someone's go-to person to help them through a really difficult situation in their lives and transition into another phase of their lives. Shortly after I finished real estate school, I did a couple of transactions, rentals and single-family home sales. And it was through this beautiful technology called Zillow, if I'm not mistaken, that I discovered that you can have a Nextel bleep bleep on your phone. Posted it on Facebook. You and Michelina were like, oh my gosh, Nextel bleep bleep. And then that's how you and I kind of became friends. And that's how we started talking and saying, hey, what do you do? Hey, what do you do? Oh my gosh, I like you. Hey, I like you too. You want to be friends? Let's be friends. Let's do this together. So here we are, 3 years later, 4 years later.
I don't even know. 2017, so 3 years.
Yeah.
But that's a perfect example right there. That was social media at its best.
It really was, because we never even spoke a word to each other before that.
No.
We followed each other, but we were never like, hey, what's up? How you doing, friend?
Right. Which is good because, you have a common ground. And that's why, I'm doing the 12 o'clock show every day because I want people to network with other people. I want them to get to know other people. People are always like, Matt, are you worried about competition? No, I'm not worried about competition.
There's more than enough business to go around for everyone, honestly.
There is more than enough business to go around. Unfortunately, there's not enough real estate agents that care enough. There's one thing that you talk about, I talk about, people before profit.
100%.
You always talk about, which you say you didn't make up, but, your whole thing with the commission breath.
Commission breath, man. I really need to go back into my memory bank and remember where I heard that, because that is definitely not something that I made up myself. I know I heard it somewhere. I don't remember who I heard it from, but it's perfect. It makes sense.
No, it really does make sense. And obviously, you're going to come across agents that are not going to want to take the time to work with distressed real estate. And obviously, we work with distressed real estate all the time. You and I are working on a couple of deals right now. Mm-hmm. So what's scary about this industry is that everybody's so scared of, and I don't care what anybody says, is technology. You and I are a few years apart.
Just a couple.
Yeah. we're a couple of years apart, but I act like an 18-year-old regardless, so it doesn't really make a difference.
There you go.
That part of my brain never grew up. But when it comes to business, I don't mess around. It's hardcore, and I put people before profit. You do the whole thing with the commission breath, which is truly important. The problem that's out there is that everybody's looking for the quick buck. Nobody wants to help anybody. And I think the technology that's out there is really going to make a difference, whether, there's a, 10 plus year age gap difference between you and me. And then there might be a 10-year age gap difference between me and someone else that might be in real estate that's not really, has social etiquette, and they're not being, able to either get on, or they don't have a team member. So I think it's important to have, either somewhat of a team or have a surrounding around you of people that understand, I guess, what it is that you're trying to, produce or put out there as far as either content or showing people what you're doing. So, you'd mentioned Greg. Some people might not know who Greg is. Like, people say, oh, Madonna, Prince. Who's Greg in your life?
So Greg is the love of my life. He is my biggest supporter. He is my biggest cheerleader. He is the man behind he's the powerful man behind the powerful woman. And if it wasn't for him kind of pushing me to do whatever it is that I wanted, kind of guiding me at the same time and telling me, hey, I believe in you. You can do it. I don't think that I would be here. I don't think that I would be so interested, or I would be so driven in real estate. And it's really because of him. So Greg is one half of the owners of Captivate Construction. They've quickly become one of the most well-known builders in Bergen County, and I'm super, super proud of him and his twin brother, Gary. And they're just really doing a lot of amazing things. And it's really cool how sometimes our businesses clash a little bit. Not clash, but we get to work together. And that's not always, that's sometimes, but I love showing off his work. He does beautiful work. And yeah, I know I'm biased, but
you complement each other.
We really do. We really do. But again, we try to keep our businesses very separate unless there's one client that we both share that, I happen to sell them a house and they want to renovate their kitchen. I know that a lot of power couples that are, female realtor and then husband or boyfriend or fiance builder, they're giving each other the business back and forth. We're not like that. We happen to be very independent. And very seldomly does it happen where I find a spectacular deal that maybe he would want to take advantage of and I can negotiate it for him. He's licensed too. He really doesn't need me. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, it's funny that you talk about power couple clashing, maybe complementing or whatever it is. We looked at least 2 projects together. We asked Greg to look at them, mm-hmm. and Greg never said like, oh, I'm going to get the job, which was really good that he went in there with the aspect of, looking at it for you and me, or the other project that was for you, to give eyes on it and give his opinion on what the cost of repairs going to be. So that's obviously important to have. Since we're talking about Greg is certified as a 203K specialist.
He is a certified 203K contractor.
What does that mean?
So the last time I looked, and I would have to, just make sure that I'm still right on this because obviously information changes. I believe he is one of 6 in North Jersey. And basically what that means is that he's been vetted by the lenders that offer 203K renovation products. And they say, hey, listen, we looked into this guy. He definitely has his insurance. He's got his license. He's got all of the things that he needs to legally get your project done. And we believe that he's going to do the best work possible by the client. Mm-hmm. So the bank is basically saying, we know him, we like him, we've worked with him, he's good to go.